Nah, man, these ideas suck. Kobe.
I think it's time to finally ditch the hat and go no cap. Kobe.
Okay, game day. I lace my Kobe's up right. All right, I'm ready. Mama mentality, baby. Mama. What am I forgetting? What do I need? I think this makes the most sense. Kobe. Yo.
Kobe.
That's a full size. That's a full size. She want every color. That's a full size.
Hello to every single member of the FS Army watching across the world. Of course, I'm your co-host, Brendan Dunne.
I'm Matt Welty.
Trinidad James, Dad is here, baby. Let's do it.
We have two special guests, gentlemen, Fung Bros here.
Fung Bros.
Andrew and David with us.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Hey, yo, thank you so much for having us.
What's going on,
Yeah,
guys?
we're happy to have you
Been a
guys.
long time, watcher of the show.
Thank you for that.
thank you.
You guys are,
YouTube superstars.
that's right, part-time rappers, full-time
Everything.
YouTubers, and two guys that have been into sneakers for a very long time. We are so happy to have
We
you.
crossing
on this.
over right now from the YouTube world to the more official.
Dang, I haven't heard rappers in a while. That was
TV
you're
cameras
bringing
up.
up some old songs.
You guys got serious bars or?
Yes. I'll just say.
Okay, I was about to say. Hey.
Yeah.
What, am I going to say no?
Well, you
I know, right?
said rapper, so
Not a lot of confidence there. Yeah, we're going to bring up a lot of old stuff. The first thing we want to talk about, though, the sneakers we are wearing on our feet today. Welty, what do you have on?
Doing a commemorative pair today. I think this might be the first time I've worn basketball sneakers on the show, but these are the Adidas Kobe 2s.
A rare sight.
Yeah,
Nice.
very rare shoe. Yeah.
We're doing All-Star Kobe 7s, man. Shout out to Project Blitz in LA, man. Dre, Quam's, good family over there.
What a
Man.
great pack that was. What a great time in sneakers.
No,
that
it's a
was.
great time in sneakers.
Beautiful.
We right here, man.
I got Reebok questions on a Kobe tribute as well. This is the Packer pair from 2013.
Great pair, man.
Lakers colors. We're not going to get too much into the Reebok stuff today.
Wait, did you get the bag?
Fat Joe's gonna choke you.
Listen,
The bag is lined up?
it's complicated. But some paperwork has been signed.
Ooh.
Stop DMing me. Stop asking about it. It's complicated. But this is February.
Signing out here.
Wait. We're really gonna do that again?
February. It's right there. REE.
You need to cut your fucking mustache into a vector logo or something.
That's what I'm doing. Gentlemen, what sneakers do you have on today?
I got the Chinatown NYC Air Max 1.
Okay.
I have these Bapesta Camo Highs. Shout out to Bape.
Beautiful.
Well, man, before we even do sneaker news, for our viewers out there, we want to just take a brief, just 8-second pause, man. You know, Kobe Bryant means a lot to the sneaker community. He means a lot to basketball. He means a lot to all cultures. I just want to take like just 8 seconds. Let's just like, you know, give Kobe that moment if everybody's cool with that.
Yeah, let's do it.
We love you, Kobe. News.
Let's stick with Kobe. He is the topic of conversation right now. The first thing we want to talk about, people reselling Kobe sneakers. Welty, how do you feel about this?
I get that, you know, it's a free market.
This is America, baby.
People can do what they want. We had a lot of conversations about this, had written a story about it, had talked to Dre about it, and, you know, he thinks that, you know, when an artist dies, the value of the work goes up. I don't know if that's the way to look at it. You saw some shoes that went from like $150 to $800 overnight.
Yeah, sneakers people didn't really care about that much a year ago, like Kobe Bryant's first slam dunk sneaker, the Adidas, you know.
Went for $1,000.
$1,000 on StockX. So people are like jacking up these resale prices in the wake of his tragic death in that helicopter crash.
It was very interesting when I was going to sneaker shops. This was before they decided to pull them off. They didn't have any Kobe's. People weren't checking for the shoe anymore, and it kind of showed you like how people felt about the Kobe shoe in general. It feels a little strange when you see these prices jack up so much.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, are you big Kobe fans?
Yeah, absolutely.
bro.
I mean, RIP, and I thought a lot about it over, you know, everybody has in their own way. And I'm not gonna lie, the resale market aspect of it is kind of like the last thing on my mind. So to be honest, I wish I had a better take.
Kobe's always been big in like Asian American culture too, right? Like he's always been like a central figure. Like
he's the biggest.
Yeah?
He's the biggest
I mean,
in Asia. Also, obviously, Asian American culture. Those two things being kind of interconnected. So yeah, absolutely.
I think he globally, made such an impact, and just kind of like how he kind of bridged cultures together. I think it was, I don't remember for a long time.
And you guys had Kobe's growing up, right? Andrew, you had the
Absolutely.
Kobe 2s. David, you had the Kobe 1s, is that right?
Yeah, Protros to hoop.
I gotta say, those are probably the most neck-breaking shoes in a way that I ever had.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's neck-breaking in the good way. Because you're
Like, what are those?
Yeah, people
You
at
had some
school were like,
toasters on your feet.
What are those?
I guess just to give some context, like me and Andrew are huge performance basketball heads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For performance sneakers.
Right,
So that's
right,
like the Kobe one with it was chunky with the huge
Oh, they had the
Ada Preen.
sunshines.
Yeah.
I mean, the Kobe line, I think for performance-wise, one of the top ones, if not the best one.
Yeah, I'm actually happy to see too, in the wake of his death, while people have been trying to profit off of it, I've been happy to see that stores are kind of like putting an end to that, and like the reselling community kind of as a whole, Urban Necessities, that store Vice out in Denver. I think Riff pulled a bunch of Kobe shoes off the shelves.
I was literally just in LA, and kind of like how you felt like I wasn't focused on the reselling aspect of what's going on with Kobe, in the loss of him and his daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we keep saying Kobe, but his daughter was awesome.
7 other people in the
Amazing.
helicopter,
Whole other
of course.
families too,
What other sneakers we want to talk about? Big Jordan 1 reveal over the weekend, is that right? J Balvin?
Yeah.
Shout out to the Chiefs. If I'm not mistaken, he's the first Latin artist to ever have a Jordan collab.
Musical artist, I believe he's right. Paul Rodriguez, a Mexican-American dude, had like the Nike SB
J-Rod,
crossover
that's true.
collab, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Fat Joe was pretty close to getting a pair of Jordans at one point.
He got his own Jordans made, whether
right,
whether officially or not officially.
And we just had we had him, and they found out, they fired him. But
Latino
I
gang,
like
gang,
it.
gang, man.
I love it.
When I saw those, I was like, yo, those are really dope, because I love like the different shapes and just the colors and how it just stands out.
Shout out Frank Cook.
You know what? I actually did not like it at first because I don't really understand why it looks that way. I'm not the biggest J Balvin fan, but I talked to Frank very briefly, who did design the shoe, and he said that he wanted to really design it around J Balvin as a person and not necessarily as like a mass market shoe. There's no info yet.
But I mean, he does his hair like in all those crazy colors.
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm
stuff
saying.
Like that. It makes sense.
We don't know if they're coming out yet, but like as like a player exclusive, I think it makes the most sense of just like let him have this shoe. You know what I mean? This was a cool moment. The whole Latina gang, like I respect it.
Yeah, would you say like for this Super Bowl, like sneakers even made a bigger splash this time?
Of course.
Like it's just getting bigger and bigger.
From my perspective, I really think that this is a great look just for the Latin community, just in general. That whole entire Super Bowl performance, J-Lo, Shakira, Bad Bunny, everybody involved. I mean, just the whole rollout.
Where was Lou Bega?
Much respect. Much
They
respect.
needed to bring him out. I feel like too, this represents from a cultural aspect. They're doing a cultural shoe, but it's not blatant. You know what I mean? Like there is some Latino aspects to this shoe, but it's not like hit you in the face like flag.
How do you guys feel like that when I know there's like called like the Chinese New Year shoes? Like you're wearing one right now. Do you always think it's done in a tasteful way, or do you feel like the brands are trying to kind of leech off of a fan base?
The truth is, obviously, there's a lot of factors involved in everything you just named. Economics to actually paying homage to a culture, I guess, that probably makes up a big portion of the demographics. So I think that it's both. It is easy to kind of frame it more as a money grab, but I don't think so. I just like to see the progression, I guess, in the design. Back in the day, it was just like, okay, let's think of the most base level surface thing that everybody associates with this culture, and we'll just like throw it
Slap
on.
a few characters on
Put
it.
a flag on it.
Yeah, throw the
Like
flag
those old New
on,
Era
just-
hats. Do you guys remember the New Era fitteds when they had the just like Chinese characters on it? It was like strength or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You should see my
Let us
lower
know.
back
Yeah.
tattoo.
It's like just to see it, and in 2020, just like this shoe is moving toward a more sophisticated representation of that community.
How do you feel about these Air Max compared to like ones in before?
These
like
are dope. Aside from the tongue, nothing of it would scream it. It's really based off Chinatown, and it has the.
It's a specific story that like makes sense.
Yeah, and it's specifically Chinatown, New York, and that's what's so cool about them. And I just think like seeing the progression of the design, I think it just goes to show you the progression of different cultures in America and how they're developing and the respect that they're getting. I mean, it's more nuanced now, so I think it's cool.
In China, this is even a debate amongst themselves, like how to represent themselves. Like, are you guys familiar with the Shanghai Air Max 97?
Yeah.
Oh, the teal joints.
yeah.
Yeah, I got those. Yeah.
Inherently, there's nothing like blatantly Chinese about it. But if you know the Chinese guy who designed it, his story about walking across the bridge every day to and from school.
There's like the big funnel clouds or whatever that come up,
That are blue, and then him wishing like some of the pollution wasn't there, and it was like to clear blue skies, but there's different layers in the clouds. So it's so artistic when he explains it, and I feel like that mentality is also Chinese. But then you could also look at the clot Air Force Ones that recently kind of got hot.
Correct.
And that's more blatant, right? That's
Right.
like ancient Chinese silk pattern.
Right.
Like, I think people right now are still having internal debates or discussions about just like, where do we want to represent it from a
How to do
design
it tastefully.
So when did you guys first start caring about shoes?
I think it starts, man, there was a
Late
brand,
90s.
Payless Attack Forces, all the way to when I remember in '96 I was on the Jungle Gym, and then I saw a pair of Concords right in front of me. They were in kid sizes because we were at recess, and I was just like, those shoes are so dope.
This is growing up in Kent, Washington, right?
Growing up in Kent,
Man,
which is
you
South
read the
Seattle,
Wikipedia,
essentially,
thank you.
I wrote the Wikipedia.
Oh man.
But I think it's natural. Like, I mean, maybe I don't know how similar everybody's story is. It's like around 30. For us, at least, it stemmed from basketball.
Yeah.
And then basketball turns into sneakers, and then everybody at that time was wearing performance shoes. Like you see Barkley, you want to wear Barkleys. I think as an Asian kid, and I'm not saying or any immigrant, like your parents are not down with dropping like 130 to play the cool games at school. So then you have to come up with either creative ways to hustle or build up some capital to even play those games. But I think once you do, at least for me, it makes you even double down on it even harder. So we used to actually be on Nike Talk. So we would call up all the outlets. Back then, even the Nike employees at the outlets didn't even know what they were. Whether it was factory second or B grade or A grade, like all white penny ones for like $30. And you could call up Caramello outlet in Northern California.
And they had no idea. They were like, why do I have 40 people calling me?
And they would ship them out to you.
Yeah, of
and
course.
You, could
You give them
buy
your
10
credit card number.
I don't think it's like that anymore,
And then
right?
you could sell them on eBay to Japan. And I don't know if I was gonna share the story, but I gotta keep it super real, because on Nike Talk, there was a way that you could like kind of find shoes that had a high rate of defect from Nike. And then there was a Nike exchange voucher program too. So you're like, oh, the Flight Posit 3, you know that the bubbles are gonna rip.
Wait, so you had a super jig going on?
That was a finesse. I mean, I'm just saying, like that's
the hustle, yeah.
I want to know the hustle.
I know one of your guys' first real sneaker missions was going to Nike Town in Seattle and lining up for the black and red Jordan 1s. Is that right? 2001.
2001.
Tell me about
2001.
that. Like, how hard was that to, like, you were some of the youngest kids there, right? Standing in line.
I think to convince shout out to our dad, he dropped us
What's
off.
his name?
Casey Fung.
Yeah, Casey Fung.
Casey Fung.
Shout out to Casey.
Yeah.
But make sure he gets his due.
I actually never said my dad's full name on YouTube. Anyways, but yeah, so I think being the youngest kids there, I think I have a funny side to that story, because I have to be honest, like I wasn't so into the flipping mindset at the time. I just really loved the Pippen 2s, and they were retroing in the white and navy. And I just love how sleek that shoe is, and I was gonna wear it for basketball season and track season that year. And then I wait all morning with David, and then David and our friend, they get I think the rolls drop too.
Okay.
The rolls
got
and
the
the
breads
breads.
on,
Yeah, breads. They're like coming up to me, they're like, okay, well, what size do you need in the breads? And I was just like, I need the Pippen 2s. And then they were like,
They looked at him
No, they were
crazy at
like,
Nike Town.
they're looking at this little Asian kid, right, who waited all morning. They're like,
A kid, like he probably looks like 10 years old.
everybody here is for the Jordan 1s. And I was
Right.
just like, I just need those Pippen 2s, man.
Did you ever go back and get the black and red Jordan 1s?
I get them eventually when I got
Okay,
older.
okay.
Yeah, like in the past like several years, I bought them.
I remember going to Nike Town, Seattle. Remember they had those tubes in the store that they would like shoot the inventory up through? Maybe my nerdiest sneaker story, but in 2007 I was in Seattle for the Penny Arcade Expo, and I went there only with stay with me here, only with flip-flops on my feet because it was summertime. I didn't have any socks with me. But like where I grew up in Idaho, there was no Nike Town or anything of the sort. So I was really hyped just to get to go to Nike Town and buy something cool. So I went there.
Your feet were crusty as shit from walking down like the
dirt roads that I grew up on. So went there, no socks, and I bought a brand new pair of, I don't know if you guys remember these, like random Air Force One, like white with like burnt orange, and I didn't buy any socks.
Oh, wow.
So I bought the Air Force Ones at Nike Town Seattle and wore them all weekend at this fucking gigantic video game convention. I would take my shoes off to sleep in the car.
like
and,
shit, man.
Yeah,
It's a very Seattle
You
story.
guys were
That's
keeping
a-
it super organic.
super organic.
Fond memories of Nike Town Seattle. Thank you to the good people at
Yo, that's
Nike
so
Town.
funny that you brought up the tubes that they used to
You remember, right?
Yeah. I remember Nike Town first off. That was crazy.
I want to know more about like being from Seattle specifically. Did you guys care a lot about like Gary Payton sneakers, Sean Kemp sneakers?
I think.
I mean, if you guys know, Seattle has such a deep basketball culture.
Yeah.
And basketball and sneakers being so interconnected.
So basketball shoes is the shoe.
it
for
is
Seattle.
Or Griffey's.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
of course.
think
Right.
the sports teams mean so much because we don't have another mode of like kind of entertainment. It's not like LA where there's like Hollywood and some stuff
Or even
like
New
that.
York. There's no, to be honest, there's really shout out to Macklemore, but there's no real hip hop world.
Yeah,
Right.
not,
engage with, you know.
it's not
Shout out
as big
to
in Seattle.
Blue Scholars.
Blue Scholars,
Yeah,
Geo,
Geo's cool.
Sabi.
And it's really sad because like, considering how much people in Seattle love hooping, we don't have a team.
Yeah.
Like we're getting an NHL team like in a year, but we're not getting an NBA team. And I'm just like,
You got to have something to stun on when you're in the parking lot of Dick's, right?
Y'all here going to Sounders matches?
We're talking about Dick's, man.
You just brought up the sound. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's like I don't know. Have you guys spent a lot of time in Seattle?
I've been briefly. I went for different reasons than probably.
No, I've never been. I've been to Portland, but I haven't been to.
I used to go like a decent amount because I grew up between Idaho and Oregon. So like
You're literally an Ore-Ida potato.
That's a hell of a joke, Welty.
You guys talked a lot about, sneakers being part of like the Asian American experience. If there is or isn't like stereotypes or negative stereotypes like based around like that kind of like hype beast culture.
Right. In sneakerheads, whether we're talking about Asians from Asia or Asians that are born in America, like me and my brother, there is a huge range, and it tends to fall on the extremes. A lot of outside groups, they don't necessarily see us as separated like the Asian Americans with the Asians. Yeah. Even though within our own community, there's kind of like, sometimes there's some separation, but like, I think-
Internal beef.
Yeah, I think Asian Americans, we more adapt essentially to like what is the American sneaker culture, what I'm referring to, like foam posits, everything that everybody else was wearing growing up, which is kind of like a mainstream flow, like the same thing that everybody knows about, right? But then there was also a style.
Chinese people can't wear foam posits because they're too tight.
Oh, you too tight on the wide feet, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's what you said.
Oh yeah, I did say that because Asians sometimes have wider feet.
They
But
do
yeah,
have wider
that's
sides,
funny, bro. And then you have Asians from Asia, where there's two styles, right? One is from Japan, where it's almost like they're the original sneakerhead. They had sneaker magazines way before the U.S. had sneaker magazines. And they spawned the Bear Brick thing too. There's so many artisanal,
Of course.
collector things. They collect everything
Like
there.
manga. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just.
And then maybe nowadays you have a global high-end designer hype beast thing that is, I guess, to be honest, and I'm Chinese and I got so much love for it, but I would say more associated with China. So,
Gucci sneakers and like all like these that you're saying.
Yeah,
like,
but
the
triple
hype-
S.
You're also saying it's not a monolith of a culture where like you're Asian, but it's not like every Asian person is the same. Like
Right.
yeah, and I do think that Asians tend to get clumped together and then do get a bad rep. Sometimes some people think this, but I'm like, yo, everything from the designer to the manufacturer to the seller to the buyer, there's a lot of Asian people involved in that entire process. You know?
Yeah.
I know some people look at the guys wearing all the logos and all the brands and they're like, oh, that's how all Asians are. I'm like, of course that is.
like I
huge
said, we have
generalization,
everybody
you know?
from the super true school to Jeff Staple, Dao Yi, shout out to them. Leo
Hey, shout out to
Chang.
Old Man Run Club. What up, Dow?
Did you guys see that Vlad TV interview with the reseller who was like, that Chinese reseller? I mean, I'll shout him out. I know him personally, Alan, who was like,
your man.
He was like, oh, I don't care about sneaker culture. I don't care about this. This is just economics to me. This is just like stock.
Oh, he a businessman.
Yeah.
He doesn't care
I
about
think he was playing it up in that interview too, but yeah,
he does care about the culture.
We gotta find him.
He was trolling, per se.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever resold sneakers?
Flip sneakers, like, but nah, I didn't buy out like a size run or anything.
All right.
But to be honest, I seriously am 1,000% okay with it. Even the fake economy, I'm okay with it too. Because at the end of the day, obviously, I don't wear fakes and I don't want to support that. And I don't want to support people like passing off a fake shoe as a real shoe and making a gigantic margin. But at the end of the day, people don't know what it's like to be over there making stuff for $2, $3 an hour. People are just like, want to ascribe like that one negative aspect to them. You know what I mean? Like the fakes or like, oh, they're culture vultures or whatever like that. So that's why I'm kind of just like, come on, guys. Like they've been in it for so long.
You mentioned being out in Asia. I know you guys have made a lot of videos out there. What's like the craziest sneaker stuff you've seen out there?
Have you spent time in Asia?
Yep, Japan, and I haven't done China though.
Me and Brendan had a layover in Shanghai where our credit cards didn't work. That was fun.
We spent some time in Malaysia as well, but like, have you guys like really tried to explore the sneaker scene out there?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For me, the craziest stuff to see there is like, for example, let's say there's a drop, right? They'll have everybody wear Jordan 1s to the Jordan 1 drop.
Like you have to wear
I
Jordan
saw
1s
that.
to get in.
Yeah.
So there's two.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
It's like a uniform.
Khakis?
Yeah.
It's pretty extreme, but I understand. I see it.
And it's for the picture, but it's also to ensure that people, if you are gonna get like a bunch of people off the street, you still gotta give them Jordan 1s. I don't know. I guess for me, people are always like, yo, all the fake stuff comes out of China. I'm like, all the real stuff comes out of China too. So I don't know.
It's all
everything comes.
I
out
mean,
of
it's
China.
the world's factory. Like they're gonna make everything, And I think even more back in the day, even Fabulous had worn some fake Gucci Jordans.
Fabulous.
Navy
That's-
11.
Yeah, Gucci
Yeah,
Navy 11s. And
questionable
back then, no, for sure.
That
And-
was a heat. That was amazing back then.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
Yeah, at a time, like
Yeah.
having the Gucci 11s or Burberry 11s, it was like people kind of knew they were fake, but having a
care.
fake shoe didn't have that taboo kind of
Yeah,
like
of course.
Yeah.
energy behind it.
We
like,
didn't know
ugh.
better, and it was
just
fun.
fly.
It
Brendan
was
Dunne
good
doesn't
dress.
wear fakes, just know that. Gentlemen, every single week here on the show, we punish somebody who had the worst take in the last episode, as decided by the YouTube commenters. Please tell us this week who had it. I have a good guess, but they vote on who said the most awful thing, and they make them switch out their sneakers for something terrible. It is Matt Welty this week. People on the live stream were upset.
This is stupid. I'm actually like really upset about it.
Welty's
Why you
also
upset?
upset. Here's why they nominated Welty. Welty said on our live stream that he had an afro back in the day. And
I had a fro, and I did. No, but it's just corny because it's like I stopped wearing a hat this season, and it's like whatever. I don't give a fuck.
just showing where you came
I don't give a
from.
fuck if my hairline's receded or whatever. It's just like
Go off.
when I was younger.
Tell him,
whatever,
King.
dude. I'm fucking half Armenian. I have fucking curly ass hair when my hair grows.
Go
out.
off, King.
And you're gonna call, no, but it's people are gonna
Put that
call me.
kufi on top of his head
but they're
right
gonna
now.
they're gonna fucking call me out for having curly ass hair as a fucking kid. Go fuck yourself.
Whoa, yeah.
I'm not calling you out.
I know, but it's
Yeah.
just whack that's even like what it came to. It just that pisses me off personally.
I support it. No hat, fro, whatever.
Yeah, I fucking look at it, man.
I'm
I don't
riding
know. I
with
look
you.
like a different person. I get
Pay
it,
for his
whatever. I
braids,
don't give
man.
a
You gotta
fuck.
pay for his braids.
But they did nominate you, and you do have to take off your sneakers.
those
I'm
are-
riding with you. You know I'm riding with you.
That's good. That's a good picture, man. You look like JJ Redick.
These are Welty's worst take
Yeah,
sneakers.
y'all got fake shoes here.
You see what I'm saying? It's a global phenomenon.
As long as you don't say they're
really
real.
fake because when you throw them up, they're like
Super
you don't have the
light.
carbon fiber.
There's,
shape.
I was like, there's no carbon fiber, no zoom air in that.
So, guys, we also do a segment here called Drip, Flip, or Skip. Drip being, it looks good, you know, flip. You like it, but you don't want to keep it, so you sell it. Make some money, flip. And then skip, we don't mess with it at all. First shoe is going to be the Nike Plum Dunk. We'll start with you, my man. Drip, flip, or skip?
Drip. I just like the materials on that. I like the color blocking. It's cool.
This is a skip for me. I really thought I wanted them at first, but I just don't think I'm going to wear an all suede shoe like that in 2020. Also, a reminder to people out there, this is not an SB shoe. A lot of people think this is an SB. This is not
What website said it?
a website called Bleacher Report. This is not an SB. There's a difference. Not all dunks are SB, so figure it out. I'm skipping.
For me, it's drip.
All right.
Drip, Welty?
Simple.
My brother, how do you
Drip.
feel? Drip, right? I kind of want the OGs, to be honest with you.
Right?
And then SB did do a high dunk
high?
and kind of like called it that, but it's not. This is not SB. This is a regular dunk. This is a drip for me.
Okay.
This is a drip. Moving forward, we got our snakeskin ZX 8000. Woo! Welty, get me right. Drip, flip, or skip.
I'm not usually a person who's into shoes that have animal prints on them,
Correct.
but ZX8000 is one of my favorite shoes, so drip.
Is it your favorite or one of the like? Is it your top three?
My
or-
favorite sneaker of all time is Stan Smith in white and green, but this might be my favorite Adidas running shoe of all time.
Okay.
All right.
It's a flip for me, but it reminds me a lot of the Pusha T.
Yeah, right. The Coca joints.
This is a skip for me. I do quite like the ZX 8000, and I'm trying to kind of follow in Welty's footsteps. This is going to be a big ZX year for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with skip too.
Skip also.
Why is that, Andrew?
Overall, just not a fan of that. Yeah, just not a fan of that design. Just not feeling it. It didn't hit me like the.
Was it the
52s
sack
would.
look? The burlap sack?
No, it looks
panels.
No, just no.
Well, I feel differently. I don't own any ZX joints like I've purchased personally. Welty has gifted me some. Thank you, Welty. These, I could do my thing in these. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Dad
These are
can
drip.
drip these?
Our dad will drip these. This is a drip for me. All
These are
right.
really like, this is like, it's an all black fake Jordan. It's not even just, this is like the black Air Force Ones
Of fake Jordans. Moving forward, Jordan High 85. These are back, guys.
These are supposedly limited to 25,000 pairs. Not confirmed, but that's the word on the street.
Brendan.
I was gonna skip it, but Welty's coming through with the resell intel, and I'll flip them off the strength of
Brendan
that.
still resold Kobe's, though. He's selling Kobe's all week.
That's cap.
Drip, flip, or skip.
Drip.
Drip.
I think so. This is the high, and then
call it
there's
the
mid,
high.
and then the yeah.
This
it's a
is
little
based
high
off of the actual silhouette of the original.
that he actually wore. Yeah.
I would say flip because for me it does. Not that I don't understand the historical context, but it looks so much like a dunk to me.
Welty.
This is a flip all the way to going on vacation.
It's a drip. Somebody want to give them to me for free. I'm not going to spend my own money on it.
You are gonna beg.
No, I never beg. You never see me beg.
Do you think like the people who like this have to understand the historical?
No, sir. Because that's like saying the people who wear SB should skate. If it makes you feel good when you put it on,
No, but I'm saying
wear
like
that shit.
what would make them like it about it? Because that silhouette to me it just looks so old school. So maybe some people would.
Well, everybody likes Jordan 1s now. If you think about it, every hot, good-looking girl on, like, you don't have to know anything about sneakers, but Jordan 1, Yeezy 350, these are like the go-to shoe for like a person.
And it used to be like the superstar or
Something else.
This has really made its way into fashion.
Yes,
and
sir.
that's what I think
Dior
that's-
Jordan 1 coming out. You know?
solidified for the rest of history.
So guys, we do shoes, but we also do outfits. And I don't think it's no better outfits to do other than Fung Bros Brothers. Outfits.
I don't know
Outfit
how,
number
I don't know
one.
how far you guys dug. Hey,
Hey.
glad you found this one.
Hey, look at that. What's going on here?
I was
Tell-
hoping you would find this one. David,
What's happening?
we're at a wedding.
Okay, who's getting married here? Shout him out.
Someone from the church.
Somebody from church. Was
Okay, shout out church.
The 11s, but back then it was like it's just called them the Pats.
Yep.
You called them Pat.
I called him Pats.
Well, that's what they called them in Seattle. Like,
Interesting.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never heard that before.
But I would say a lot of people that weren't on Nike Talk, they didn't know the actual numbers.
Of course.
Right. So it was just like, people reference it. So we always had that joke. We always like, they were the Pats. But obviously, we knew the 11s.
To this day, I love the suit or tuxedo with the Concords. I don't know if it's overdone or whatever, but I'm like, yo, I still
What
like
did
that
you
outfit.
have on in this photo, Andrew? Because it's a little cut off. Do you remember?
I'm not gonna lie.
I would lie right
dress
now.
shoes?
I had the
Did you have your dress shoes on?
Pippin 2s on, huh?
Yeah, Pippin 2s. My Pippin 2s. I was wearing the navy white Pippin 2s.
Also, it's confusing because there's
don't
other
know.
shoes with patent leather on them. Jordan 9 lows. I know your dad used to mow the lawn in Jordan 9 lows.
Oh,
with
yeah,
patent
that's
leather
funny
on
you
them,
brought
right?
that up.
Man.
Okay, Dad.
Yes. Like we said, immigrant parents, they don't really know. They don't
care.
really care. They just see your shoes.
It's just a sneaker.
Just putting them on. I had all white Jordan Low 9 pearls, the white and chrome ones, and I thought those were so fresh. I had worn them a couple times. My dad saw them, and then next thing I see, he's mowing the lawn in them. I'm
Did
just
you
like,
run out like, no?
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? He picked us up one time in a Wizards Jordan swingman jersey, and he had just picked it up because it was my jersey, but he went to go pick us up from a football game,
Just
and then he
trying to
walked into the
visualize it.
McDonald's, and the McDonald's is packed. This is like the McDonald's that everybody goes to after the
Right,
game.
right, it's popping.
So we're all there, it's popping, right? And then he runs in there, and we're just like, is that Dad? And we're just like, yo, Dad, let's get out of here.
We try to rush them out.
Yeah, I mean, nothing was getting.
Tell me, drip, flip, or skip?
The outfit, like I said, timeless.
I would say super duper drip.
Super duper drip?
That's a
Drip
drip.
forever, drip forever.
Brendan?
Very formal drip.
Yeah.
Welty?
Drip.
I'll give it a drip. I give it a drip. Suit and Concords. You guys this young? Hey, drip.
And it kind of shows the the history, how
Lineage.
how many years we've been in this.
Of course.
Well.
Here we go.
So this is in Tokyo, and you
nice.
can do the Mario Kart
race.
racing around the streets. This is
Yeah,
the wildest thing.
you guys
They would-
did it.
They would never do this in, I don't know if any other country, but in Tokyo, it's dope and kind of dangerous, but thrilling.
Nice.
It's fun,
City
man.
NMDs, the waterproof ones.
I
Yeah,
see
that's
you.
our boy Amban on the right.
Isn't that Wario?
I just love getting, like on our trips to Asia, like what I love to do is if we're out there for a few weeks, like pick a shoe and then just rock it the whole time.
Go in.
See how beat you can get it?
Yeah, see how beaten, and then I come back and I'll try to clean them up. And if I can't, it is what it is. I got my wear out of it.
Double the content.
Yeah.
So, Welty, drip, flip, or skip?
I don't know. This seems like some sort of like cosplay event that
I knew you
Brendan
was
would go to.
So, that means...
This is
All right, well,
this is how Brendan dressed when he went to like on that trip to
There you
Seattle.
go.
I
There
could
it is.
see you
Come
on
on.
one of these. You would. must
That's a
have gone.
skip.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, there he is.
You're
There's
halfway there
I can see Luigi.
there's Mario right there.
So, Welty, what is this?
I can't do the outfits, man. It's a skip.
Brendan?
That's a cosplay drip.
Guys?
Drip.
Drip.
Yeah, this a flip. This a flip for me. Last but not least,
History.
The Fung
Funktown Road. I knew you was going to say that. Shut up, mother. Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah,
Season 6, man. I knew it. I
Is that
knew
the
it.
web show or the TV
This
show?
is either from a web show or the TV show we did, but I think it's from the web show we did where we, the whole concept was like a fish out of water. They're like, all right, 2 Asian brothers from the city, let's take them to Fort Worth, Texas.
Texas, yeah.
And, just be a fish out of water and experience the cowboy culture. And
How you feel about that? How was it?
it's fascinating.
Yo, it was
Everybody thought we
eye-opening.
were
Being American, Asian American, like the cowboy, like how did you guys feel about it at this age? How old are you guys here?
We're adults. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This was last month. This was last month.
25,
By the way,
maybe?
we are still adults. Yeah.
I don't know. I think like for me it was crazy because it was like the people there, they were very kind actually. But they did ask us. They're like, man, you guys filming for China? They're like,
You filming for your country?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I am filming for my country.
It's America, baby.
Oh my God!
but they were,
my country.
but they asked it very cordially, So
Hey, for the culture and for the content and for the experience, it's a drip. I had the desert boots on, and David got the.
I'm a flip on this one because I think this goes to show you that we did what it takes to like come up in the media game.
Yeah.
Have like 2 million subscribers against, I don't know, I don't want to say against all odds, So,
Against all odds, it's deep
Yeah.
when it comes to YouTube subscribers.
You know what
but
I'm
I feel what you're saying, though.
like, cause like for us, we don't do pranks, and I'm not dissing to other people.
Oh, you're dissing.
Oh, you're dissing.
You already dissed it.
no.
Anytime you got to defend what you wasn't
names.
dissing, you dissed it. So it's all right.
I'm shading. I'm shading.
Yeah, okay. This is the hard word,
Like
shade.
we did it. I felt like we did it the right way. We never really compromised ourselves. I never tricked anybody. I know some of those guys, and they're cool people
Fuck 'em.
person, but I'm just talking about from.
But you're like, yo, fuck your videos.
From a content perspective,
Right, from-
we did it the right way. I put on. I didn't. Did I want?
That
to do
wasn't
this?
our idea, obviously, but it was an
You
experience.
rode with it. Like a cowboy into the sunset.
Everybody got to play their cards to come up, man.
Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. I'm
skip, bro.
going to skip this just to stay on my whole PC virtue signaling agenda and call this cultural appropriation. So that's a skip.
What?
That's a layup for you, Welty.
Well, drip flip or
Really,
skip?
I'll take
it,
it.
it's like to me, it's wild that your brain actually thinks like that.
It's a joke. It's
I don't
a
think so.
joke.
It was funny.
It was a good one.
It was funny.
I'm just gonna say drip just to spite Brendan on this one.
I was trying to lay you up with I was giving you the alley.
I mean, guys, this is a flip. I appreciate what you guys do.
What are you flipping? As Marcus Jordan said,
What you
I'm not
flipping?
flipping your own, man.
What are you flipping?
I mean, shit, if these guys get more subscribers, they're going to be more famous on YouTube. They autograph this picture, maybe it'd be worth something.
We need to get more.
In China, those bandanas probably worth a lot.
Gentlemen,
There's a market for Americana out there.
but before we get out of here on our season 6 premiere, we do want to breeze through the comment section and see what people have been saying about us on YouTube. Disappointed there were no Munyatis on that table. Trisket H referring to all the sneakers we had on our live stream. Not the comment I would have picked, but there it is. Next one, the one with the mustache looks like Theodore Roosevelt. Seriously, search and see. That's from Osmani Kopin.
They got to get a better joke than that one.
I don't know. Reginald Newsom says, glad to see y'all back. This show is the sole reason I decided to get back into the sneaker game. Matt and Brendan, y'all are the legends. Let's be clear, Trinidad is the GOAT. And he says, aside from Wale, because he's from DC, please get him back. We need all that to happen. Thank you to everybody for tuning in to our season 6.
Could I say a few things?
Yes, sir.
Like, I just wanted to say, the one thing I want to say is just like, there's everybody. There's the things that you see on the internet that kind of characterize it one way, and we have the whole spectrum. As far as Asians in the game, they're just going to keep doing their thing. But it is true that I guess culturally we're more quiet. So sometimes that makes it so other people determine the narrative for you because we don't really have media channels or we don't focus on that to push our own narrative. But I think regardless whether we do or we don't develop that, we're just going to keep doing our thing how we do it. So at least
get your own voice out.
Yeah, so we know how it is, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. Gentlemen, thank you for coming by. We really appreciated this on our season premiere. I'm your co-host, Brendan Dunne.
I'm Matt Welty.
Trinidad James,
These
man.
were
The Fung Bros, Andrew and David. Thank you.
RP to my brother Jay Scott, man. ASAP, Cozy Boys.
true story.
hey, thank you guys so much for having us. Appreciate that.
She want every color, that's a full size. Buy a 6 for my kids, bought a 7 for me. Tell the Uber driver pass the ox cord. Tell your mama I'ma knock her socks off. Bitch, I know you mad. Yeah, I know you mad. Michael Jackson,